Hey YouTube, Night 16 here, and today we are in my workshop. So I hope the audio's not too awful bad. I think the lighting's not too awful bad in here. But we are in my workshop, so if the audio's sort of off, please bear with me. But I appreciate you coming by because I have a really cool thing to show you today. This, as I'm sure most of you know, is a AK-47 bayonet. So a couple years ago I was in Texas and I went into a hardware store, and of course they had an AK-47 bayonet. Why not? So they had a huge box of them. They were covered with cosmoline, and I picked out the best one that I could see, and I paid the man, I think I paid $8 for it, which if you ask me is really not a bad deal. I thought it was pretty neat to have an AK-47 bayonet, and yeah, it's pretty neat. So we'll go over the specs of this knife and we'll talk about it just a little bit, and I just appreciate you stopping by. So first off, this does have a 6-inch blade, which is not the longest bayonet, but in more modern times, which bayonets aren't really in play anymore, but in more modern times 6 inches seem to be about what you would want. It's not too long, but it's not too short either. It's good for up close and personal. This knife can be used as a pair of wire cutters because it comes with this metal sheath, and if you can see, it has some rubber on here. I'll get to that in just a second. But you take this slot in the blade, put it in there, and paired with this hook right here, you have yourself a pair of wire cutters. And we'll try that in just a minute just to see what it does. I haven't sharpened this knife. Speaking of the knife, you can see here that this blade is not the highest quality blade. I don't know what steel it's made out of. I'm going to guess some kind of stainless steel. You can still see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can still see the tool marks and the grinding wheel mark on here. I mean, it's not meant to be show quality. It looks like the blade was probably stamped out of metal, I would guess, and then the blade ground has a single edge grind. So this one's flat, this one has a grind on it. The top right here is actually sharpened just a little bit. It's about as sharp as the blade, believe it or not. But this knife doesn't have to be sharp because, as we all know, it was meant to be stuck on the end of an AK-47 and used. And that is the way that it would have been used, like that right there. It has a bakelite handle. It looks like wood if you just glance at it, but it is bakelite. It has a metal guard, and this actually has a serial number ground onto the guard, and the serial number matches with its sheath right here. So I've got both the serial numbers. And speaking of having a bakelite handle, as I was saying, it does have rubber on this metal sheath, and what that is for is when you make it into wire cutters, the theory is, and I would say that it works, the theory is that you can cut somebody's wire and be holding rubber and bakelite and not get shocked by American electricity. So that is what it is. It has a hook up here. I believe that this hook is for a leather strap that would go down here and go into this hole. Not sure what that's for, but I do believe that's what that is. I don't have the leather strap, but yeah, it's just a really neat piece of history. Really neat knife. I really like it, especially for the price. So let's go ahead and cut a piece of wire and see what happens. Okay, so I have a piece of wire here, and it's not very thick wire. I wish I had some barbed wire or something. I'd try that. I don't know how well this would work, but we'll try this and just see what happens. So in theory, you put it right in there. And that cut it. So there you go. I'm not really shocked, just to be honest. This isn't the sharpest edge right here, but I mean, you know, it don't have to be. It cut that very well. So it's pretty neat, pretty neat. So overall, I really do like my Texas hardware store bayonet, and I hope you enjoyed looking at it and seeing it, and I really appreciate you watching my videos. If you have not subscribed, please do so, and I sure would appreciate that. Thank you for watching, and this has been Night 16. Night out.